Hello and welcome to Pelham School District Today. This is our November edition, and today we're talking about college credit courses at Pelham High School. When I first got here back in July, I looked at the program of study and the work that students were doing at Pelham High School, and I could not believe the number of college courses that are available and offered through Pelham High School, and the diverse set of options there are. And so that's why I set out to have this episode where we could share with the community some of those options that students have. But before we get started, I'd like to do some introductions. So we've got a student today and a staff member. Sarah, would you start? Just introduce yourself.
Yep, my name is Sarah Marandos. I'm the Director of Curriculum Instruction and Assessment.
All right, thank you. And Joe, tell us who you are.
My name is Joe Wholey. I am a senior at Pelham High School.
All right, well, I appreciate you both being here because I think these two perspectives are the way we need to figure out and share with the community the things that we're doing with dual enrollment. That's the funny term that we use. Dual enrollment really means enrolled both with us at Pelham High School and in some sort of institution of higher education. So, Sarah, could you start and just tell us a little bit about what the programs are, what we offer at Pelham High School?
So Pelham High School's developed partnerships with the Community College System of New Hampshire and also Southern New Hampshire University. And that allows us the opportunity for students to earn credit prior to graduation. These courses are taught at the college level by our own Pelham High School teachers that have met the specific credentials. And another term that's used, particularly with the community college system, is also called running start. So you might hear those terms used interchangeably.
Okay, so these courses might be called running start sometime. And so I heard you say Southern New Hampshire University, but also the community college system. And there's a lot of vocabulary here. So that's sometimes called Granite State or New England Community, Nashville Community College. Is it those sorts of places that we're talking about?
Yeah, we also offer a couple of them that are up north a little bit further, like the Lakes Region Community College. But most of our courses are run through Nashua and through Southern New Hampshire.
So I'm going to ask the dumb question. I know you just answered it, but so they have to drive there to take those classes?
No, so all of our courses are offered at Pelham High School, and this year we were fortunate to be able to offer sections both for our in-school students and our students that are remote.
Oh, okay.
So that has been a unique opportunity that we've had this year.
Oh, nice. So our remote students are able to take some of these classes as well in this really unusual year. So, Joe, you taking any of these classes?
Yes.
Yeah, so tell me, which ones are you taking and how are they going?
So right now in my senior year, I'm taking college credit Spanish. So that's a class right now that I'm taking in the first semester. That's going really good. The instructor is a great teacher. I've experienced her for several years, and it's good to kind of get a head start in college. And
this isn't a community college professor. This is
correct.
Our teacher who the community college says can teach their course.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. So my Pelham High School teacher is teaching. It's a really fun class. You learn a lot. You don't learn just about speaking Spanish. You learn a lot about the culture and the different countries such as Puerto Rico, the Dominican Republic. So you learn a lot of different things and not just how to speak it. And you also learn how to use it in public. So if you were to go to Puerto Rico, you would be able to have a good understanding of what people are saying if they don't know Spanish. So it's really helpful in that case. And next semester, I'm lucky to be able to take music theory college credit, which is a brand new one that we have this year. And I'm really looking forward to that one.
So are those both through the community college or are they through Southern New Hampshire or one of each? How did it
I
work out for you?
believe both of those are through Southern New Hampshire University. So I'm looking forward to that music theory course since it's new course this year.
That's good. And so you'll end up, assuming you do well in both of those classes, you'll end up with those will be transferable college credits when you're done?
Yeah, yep. So most of those classes are transferable. It just depends on the receiving college. So I've experienced with the college admissions process going through, and there was one school that didn't take my Spanish class.
So it depends on the school.
Right. It all depends on the school and whether it's been transferred or not. And if it hasn't been transferred, the school will take a look at it and see if that does in fact transfer. But a lot of these classes, since they are kind of gen ed classes,
Mhm.
they are relatively easy to get transferred.
Yeah, yeah. Well, both of those sound like the sort of things that when you do go to college, you would be taking in your first or second year in that experience. So I know Joe really well because of his role on the board. I'm going to ask the question to kind of see where we go, but is he the sort of student that takes these? What sort of student is right for our college credit courses?
So it certainly should be students that have a good academic background,
Mhm.
typically a 3.0 or higher, because they are taking college level courses.
Mhm.
But there are quite a range of courses, anywhere from manufacturing processes to music theory, college comp. So if you have any questions, I would definitely recommend checking with your school's guidance counselor to see if it would be a good fit.
All right, so you mentioned in there manufacturing. So this wouldn't only be, for a student who's looking to go down a liberal arts path, say. Depending on what we're able to offer, there'd be other options.
Mm-hmm.
Could you name what are some of the classes that we offer college credit-wise?
Yeah, so we have this year we're running 31 sections.
What?
31 sections, which
Mhm.
is outstanding.
Yep.
So everything from some of our more popular ones are stats college credit.
Yep. That's a
Uh,
great one. I have to say, I have personal biases. I think that is a great one
Yep,
for kids to have under their belt before they leave.
Psychology college credit is also
Oh, yeah, that's so
quite
fun.
popular. And then American Lit Classics, which is typically taken as a junior, or
Mhm.
college comp as a senior.
Mm-hmm.
And additionally, like Joe was talking about, some of these are very specific. So you can take one in Excel if that's something that you're interested in,
Oh, that's a good
or
one.
CAD,
Mhm.
or marketing. I mean, there's so many different options out there, so everybody can kind of find the one that's right for their path.
Oh, that's good. That's good. And so, with all those choices, I think we've started to talk about it, but so this is really for both of you. What are some advantages? Why would a student do this as opposed to taking just the regular high school versions of these classes? What's the advantage?
I can tell you, as a parent of a senior,
Mhm.
the cost is a great benefit because you can save a lot of money on the gen ed classes.
Wait, so I want to back up on cost. So, just to be a pain, the cost of a high school course in Pelham School District is paid for by the taxpayers, so that'd be
Correct.
zero. So they have to pay some money for this,
Mhm.
but why would that be cost effective? Just kind of walk me through it.
Just
I do know the answer, but
Because it's just significantly lower than a semester at a college. So we have many students who earn up to a semester or a full year of college credit through the offerings at Pelham High School. So to save that kind of money is a great advantage.
So if you're looking at a $20,000 a year tuition bill from college, say, and you've got 1 year taken care of, that could save you $20,000. That's a hefty chunk of money.
Mhm.
Yep, okay. That's a pretty big advantage. Is that the main reason that you ended up in them? Or?
Yeah, I think also an advantage of it is to get a college feel without really being in college. So I can take some of these. I was able to take chemistry college credit my sophomore year.
Oh,
So that was a really early jump start of this is what a college class is like. This is kind of how it works, with a couple lectures and then a lab to go along with it. And kind of it was good to get an understanding of what college is like and how it will work, and also getting these credits done and out of the way in some of these classes that I need to take in college that I can do in Pelham High School. And
yeah. Oh, that's good. And what are some things that make it a collegiate class instead of a high school class? Some differences that you.
So a lot of what I'm obviously I'll use chemistry as an example. I didn't take regular high school chemistry, but I took college credit, and a lot of it was more in depth and a lot of higher knowledge and a lot of. There was a couple different units that weren't really discussed in high school high school chemistry. And obviously, once you get to the college, you start talking about a lot of different things and more in depth. And I feel like in the college credit class, we were going a lot more in depth, and it started more of the depth kind of made it make a little bit more sense to me, at least.
So there's some more depth on particular units and some additional material that you
Correct.
cover. which makes me guess that you're probably moving along at a pretty good clip in that class.
Yeah, we were at a good pace in that class. I would say we got through about a chapter of a textbook within 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, as opposed to 3 or 4 in a regular class.
Good. All right, so I'm going to ask, are there any disadvantages? I mean, why isn't every single student taking this?
There's just many advantages. I think it also shows colleges that you're on the track for going to college and that you're taking a rigorous course load, which is very important. I don't know, Joe, can you think of any disadvantages?
Are you taking every single class as a college class right now?
No, I am not.
Right.
I think one other disadvantage is sometimes there's not I guess kind of this goes 2 ways. There isn't always the number of sections to fit within your schedule of not, and that's a disadvantage of if you want to take U.S. history or chemistry and there just doesn't happen to be room in your schedule for it.
It also seems like it'd be a lot of work to take on, and this seems silly to point out, but you're in high school, and so we've designed high school courses for our high school students, and I wouldn't imagine that every student, every class would make sense for them to be taking something advanced. Because I have it right, these are our most advanced classes that we offer in these different areas, right? All right, so again, as a relative newcomer to Pelham, my first thought was, all right, let me see all the AP classes. And I just want to make sure I'm clear and people watching are clear. So these are not necessarily advanced placement AP classes the way I certainly was familiar with as a kid and a lot of other communities use. So do we offer any AP classes, or has this replaced all of that?
No, we do offer AP classes. Again, as Joe mentioned, scheduling can be hard in a small school, so sometimes a single AP is only offered once, so that can be difficult to get into. Some of the advantages of a college credit course over an AP course, so that with the college credit course, as long as you maintain a certain grade, you'll get that credit likely. Whereas with the AP test, you also have to take the exam, so there's just another variable, I think, in there. So I think for many of our students, they've just really taken to the kind of this path because we have such great partnerships with the universities. They also use the same syllabus as they use at the college and the same textbooks. So I think it really does help prepare them for that transition.
Oh, okay. So it's not really our version of this class. It is the class as developed at the college level, whether it's Southern New Hampshire or the community college system. All right, that's helpful. So let's get down to brass tacks. How much does it actually cost?
So there's it's different fees per school, but one of the exciting things is that the state of New Hampshire actually recently passed a law that they will pay for 2 free STEM classes for New Hampshire students. So that's one option.
So the tuition would be paid for through this program?
Yep.
All right.
2 STEM classes, and then also the community college system, I think it costs about $150 a course, and SNU I think is $100 a course, depending on if there's a lab fee. So it's pretty reasonable when you compare that.
Wait, so $150 for a
full course
college course?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty reasonable. Yeah, and so it happens on our campus. The textbook we provide and the materials and labs we provide, they just have to deliver. And do they send it right to the college?
The scores, I think?
The tuition.
Oh, yes, it is paid directly into the school, not to our school district.
That's good. And so, all right, so there's a lot of vocabulary with this that I've struggled with. So I'm just going to go through it. So we've talked about AP, and we do offer some, but we're talking much broader. And you talked about Running Start as the terminology for these community college classes. And then there's this other thing called eStart. What's that?
So eStart is actually relatively new. It allows students to take community college courses online. So that's definitely something that during this time period of remote and in school, some of our students have been taking those types of courses. So that was one of the paths that we encouraged some of our remote students to take as well. Just another opportunity. So instead of them taking the course at Pelham High School with Pelham High School teachers, they're taking it online through eStart.
Okay, so that's an opportunity for students who might be remote or who couldn't fit it into their schedule to be able, another way to fit it into their schedule. And they're really, in that case, taking it remotely from the college. And that's with a college professor. Yeah, yeah. All right, so all of this is really just gives us a flavor. And I appreciate you guys talking to me about it. But what I'm really interested in is, well, I'll just be honest. I'm trying to talk about it, to talk it up, to get our 8th graders, 9th graders, 10th graders beginning to think about this, because I think it's a great opportunity. But this little video isn't going to be enough. So if a parent or even a student sees this and says, I want to find out about that, what do they do?
I would definitely recommend going to see their school guidance counselor because they have a lot more information, and they can also the instructors in each class will talk about it because they have that opportunity once the class begins to decide whether or not to take it for college credit. I don't know, Joe. Where did you hear about it?
So I really heard about it by reading through the program of studies, and I found I went to my guidance counselor after the fact, and I started asking the questions of how much does this cost, how does it work, and really the guidance counselors are key in helping through this, and also and as Ms. Marandos said, the instructors of the course. And even if your instructor in, say, physical science, my physical science teacher suggested to me, say, oh, you should take a look at chemistry college credit, I think you would be a good fit in that. In talking with other teachers, and I think most teachers know about the college credit program, and they know kind of who the teachers are, and they have an understanding of what materials gets taught. And really any instructor, specifically, and I'm going to use the physical science example, they directed me toward chemistry college credit, which is why I took that my sophomore year.
And so you might be getting some signals from your teacher, but if you are or you aren't, you could talk to your guidance counselor, or a parent could reach out to a guidance counselor and say, so how does this college credit thing work? This one I really don't know the answer to. You took one as a sophomore, and I just don't know yet. So do we offer any to 9th graders? That seems awfully young.
Yeah, we currently don't. SNU offers some to sophomores, and Running Start is typically juniors and seniors only.
Yeah, right. That's been my experience as well. You really don't want to get the so-called cart before the horse. You want kids to be comfortable mostly with high school before looking for that next challenge. So it'd be right to think of this mainly as a junior-senior experience for most kids. That's great. Well, I want to thank you both. This is exactly what I was hoping to share with the community. It's something when I arrived here, I thought, well, that is a real gem of a program that when I first arrived, I didn't know about, and then when I learned, I thought, wow, we've got something very good, and I appreciate you sharing it. So that's Pelham School District today, and our November edition. Thank you, and have a good day.